financial, last time we spoke about compound interest, and we spoke about reducing balance depreciation, because those are questions that always come up. So what I wanted us to talk about today was how we use logs to solve for n for the time period. Okay, so that's really important, because that is definitely something that is going to be questioned. You will definitely get that. So yeah, definitely worth us spending a little bit of time on it. And what I just want to go over before we get started is logs were developed by, it was actually a Scottish mathematician, and they really are very, very useful. So typically, if we are trying to solve for an exponent and we have got an exponential equation, so for example, let's say we've got something like 3 to the power of x equals
I think Mem is having electricity issues for now, but for sure she will be back in a few minutes if we could just wait for her.
There we go. Am I unmuted now? Okay. All right. Good stuff. Sorry about that. What I'm going to do, just to try and make things more stable, I'm just going to turn my video off. All right. Sorry, everybody, but this is the joys of load shedding. What can we do? All right. So I was trying to explain to you how we would solve for x is the exponent before the power went off. And if we were given an equation like 3 to the power of x equals 9, and they asked us to solve for x, it's very easy, because we can write 9 as 3 to the power of something. So we can write 9 as 3 to the power of 2, and now that we've made the bases the same, we can equate the exponents. Everybody's happy, okay? But what do we do in a situation, all right, where we've got something like this, 2 to the power of x equals 7? Here, it's not possible to write 7 as 2 to the power of something. So either we spend a long time on our calculators trying to get to x by trial and error, or instead of doing it by trial and error, which is a waste of time and not really a method that we want to use in maths, we use logs, right? So what logs do is they make the exponent the subject of the formula. So in other words, if I want to solve for x, I'm going to write x equals log whatever my base is, and then my number next to it. So you will see in the top right-hand corner of your calculator, you will see that there is a button, your log button. There's a couple of log buttons, but you've got to make sure you're using the right one. It looks like this. Okay, that's the log button that we're going to be using. And in this block over here, that's where your base goes. And in that block over there, that's where your number goes. So try that on your calculators and see what it gives you. Okay, so you're going to press the log button. You're going to pop in your base, which is 2. I can't see anything. And I'm blind as it is. And now with, let me see if I can turn on my, oh, there we go. That's better. Haha, log. Okay, 2, 7. Okay, there we go. What are you guys getting as an answer? You getting an answer? Yes, even me, I'm also getting, yeah, 2,81 is correct. There you go. Okay, so x is equal to 2,81 rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so if we needed more decimal places, that's not a problem. But obviously 2 decimal places is more than enough. I think that's fairly straightforward, isn't it? Okay, so it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. So, but this over here, this, now you need to learn this. X equals log base number. You need to make sure that you have learned that off by heart, okay, so that you know how to use that in your exam. Okay, so the first example here for us, Matrix, is an example about Matthew. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. And Matthew deposits 4,000 Rand into a savings account, paying 10% per annum compounded annually. How long will it take for his savings to double? So the first thing that you need to ask yourselves, Matrix, is what formula are we using? Okay, so what do you guys think? What formula are we using from our formulas up here? Simple interest, compound interest, depreciation, what do you think? I agree, Hope. Absolutely. Just straightforward, normal. Thank you, Johannes. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Solomon. Garden variety compound interest. Okay, so we're going to write here. Let's just get it down. A equals P1 plus I to the power of N. And 4,000 Rand has to double. So that means that it needs to become 8,000 Rand, doesn't it? Okay, if it was originally 4,000 Rand. The interest rate, they tell us, is 10% per annum compounded annually. So that would be the same as writing 0,1 over 1. So I'm just going to write it as 0,1 to the power of N. Okay, so now in this context here, Matrix, the bracket is your base. The 1 plus 0,1 is your base. All right. What we're going to need to do is isolate our base so that we can use logs to solve for N. So in isolating our base, the first thing that we want to do is divide both sides by 4,000. That means we've got 8,000 on this side over 4,000 is equal to, and I'm going to add 1 to 0,1. That gives me 1,1 to the power of N. All right. Now, this 8,000 over 4,000 can also be simplified. It can be written as 2. Okay, 8,000 divided by 4,000 is 2. So you've got 2 equals 1,1 to the power of N. All right, so again, I'm just reminding you what is inside the bracket is your base. Okay, this value on the other side over here is your number. You have to show that you are using logs. So you have to write N equals log base number. Okay, pop that into your calculator. I'm going to do the same. And what do we get as an answer? Let's see what you guys are putting down. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so N equals 7,27. 7,27 what, guys? 7,27 what? Yeah, indeed. Okay, so 7,27 years. Okay, 100%. Well done. Okay, so now we've worked out how long it would have taken using compound interest. Everybody happy with that? Thumbs up. Are we feeling good? Is it making sense? Cool, Moronkoa. Okay, good stuff. Now, if they said to you that you needed to write your answer in years and months, what would you do now? I mean, they don't often ask that, but I mean, just in case they did, what would you do then? How would you work out how many years and months it is? I mean, could we just say that it's 7,3? Ah, there we go. Look, Butle's put the right answer into the group. Okay, well done, Butle. All right, so what we would need to do is we would need to get rid of the years component. So we would take 7,27 with all its decimals, and we would take away the 7 so that we've got 0,27, da, 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 da. And then you're going to take that 0,27 with all your decimal places, and you're going to multiply it by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. Okay, so let's try that next. So we're going to say minus 7 equals times 12. And what are you getting as an answer? Oh, I can't see. Yeah, 3 months, 3,27 months. Okay, so it would be in this case. Okay, so it's 7 years and 3 months, which I think someone did actually put into the chat. I think I saw. Yes, there we go, multiply. Yeah, no, multiply by 12. Yes, good job. Okay. There we go. Johannes, you were the quickest one. Okay, quite right, Johannes. Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. Good job, everybody. So now we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to use the depreciating or reducing balance formula now, okay, to calculate N. Okay, good stuff. So this question says to us, let's just make it a little bit bigger and move it down a bit. Okay. Way. Okay, so now a motor car costing 200,000 Rand depreciated at a rate of 8% per annum on the reducing balance method. Calculate how long it took for the car to depreciate to a value of 90,000 Rand under these conditions. Okay, so first of all, we have to know what formula to use. They've told us here that this is according to the reducing balance method. So the reducing balance method means, we have to use A equals P 1 minus I to the power of N. Okay, now we've got to be careful with depreciation. Remember, A is our book, or sometimes it's referred to as scrap value. P is the original value. Okay, so the purchase price. Sometime back in the past. I is our interest rate. And of course, N is our time period. Okay, how long? So now our book value is 90,000 Rand. So we're going to put that in place of the A. The original purchase price of the vehicle was 200,000 Rand. We need to work out how long it's taken for it to become 90,000 from 200,000. Very careful. Often when we have an interest rate like this, what a lot of students do here is they write it as 0,8 instead of 0,08. So just be careful of that as well, to the power of N. Okay, I'm going to let you guys work out the answer on your own. And then when you've got your answer, you can share it in the chat again. Okay. Oopsie. Put it in the wrong place here. No. Okay, I've got an answer. Let's see what you guys have done. Cool. So Solomon, you've said 9,57 years. Correctly rounded to 2 decimal places. If we were going to be picky here, Solomon, we would have to say 9,58, but that is a very good answer. Well done. Okay, yes, Oratile, yes. Now, I know you were saying how we now pronounce your name. Is it Kaiser? Kaiser, I hope I said that correctly. Tyler, how did you get 6.58? Thelma, that's correct. Maite, that's correct. Bukle, that's correct. No, hang on. 6.8. What is it? No, not 6.8. 9,58. Yeah, 5.8 is correct. Tyler, I don't know where you got 6.8 from. Johannes says 9 years and 7 months. Ronald says 9 years and 6 months. Okay, that's interesting. So we've got a few little different answers there. Let's just have a look quickly. Okay, so when we divide both sides by 200,000 in order to isolate our base, okay, that's fine, Tyler. I also type things incorrectly sometimes. We would end up with 90,000 over 20,000 is equal to let's just work out what that is. So 1 minus 0.08 would leave us with 0,92. So let's rather write it like that. Let's turn that into a bracket, 0,92. That's our base to the power of n. Now here, guys, we don't have to keep all these zeros. I can cross 4 zeros off the top and cross 4 zeros off the bottom. I hope that makes sense to you. I mean, essentially what I'm doing is I'm just dividing both top and bottom by 100,000, sorry, by 10,000. Okay, so now I can write n, my exponent, equals log base. And then I'm going to pop in my number, 9 over 20. Okay, and then you should get 9 is equal to, as we had all discussed, it was going to be 9,58. Okay, and again, if you wanted to convert that into 2 months, you would have to subtract the 9 times by 12, and that gives you, hang on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to do everything in the dark here, and it's really... Oh, hang on a second. Okay, so that's 200,000. Hang on, so that should be over 20 then, shouldn't it? 200, yeah. So what I wrote here was correct. Yeah. Okay, Hope, thank you. Yes, 200,000, not 20,000. Hang on a second. .92, and here. Yeah, so it's so close, isn't it? So it's 6,9 months. I can see why you were saying it's 7 months. Okay, I suppose that probably would be the most accurate. So 9 years and 7 months. Good job, everybody. That's really, really nice. Well done. Okay. Yes, lovely. Good, Michelle. I'm glad you're smiling. That's great. Well done, everybody. And thank you so much for sharing all your answers. That really is most inspiring and really, really pleasing to see. Okay, so now an opportunity for you guys to do a little bit of work by yourselves. And then hopefully by the end of this lesson, we can also answer a couple of exam questions. Okay, so I would like you to please do this on your own, right? So in the first instance, you're using reducing balance depreciation. In the second instance, you're using linear depreciation. What I'll do is I'll go and grab this and I'll bring it down here. And you've got the interest rates, sorry, not the interest rates, the formulae right there. Okay, so you guys are going to try 2A and B on your own, please. If you need help, please ask Lisa and I in the chat. Go for it. Okay, Kaiser, you've got an answer already. Cool. Good job. Indeed, Solomon. Okay, now remember when you were working with, okay, let's have a look. Yes, can you see that? That's right. Good job. Oopsie daisy, Kit Kat. Okay. So can you see there? Okay, so Kaiser's answer. You've got another one there, Kaiser. Indeed. Good job. Well done. Yes, Morongoa. Perfect. Good, Solomon. Perfect. 100%. Well done. Excellent. That's really good, guys. Well done for sharing your answers, and thank you so much for your participation. I'm just going to show you quickly where those answers come from, but everything that you've put there is correct. So if you're working, just continue to work. I'm going to do this slowly. I'm going to do A first. Okay, so you should have ended up with that. And then Zn equals log base number. And then, yes, you should have ended up with 6 years and 8 months. Okay, so that was number 1. Well done. Number 2. So this is linear depreciation. So here we are saying 30,000 equals P 1 minus IN. Okay, so remember our rate is 0.12. Okay, and now what we can do is we can again divide both sides by 70,000, or if you want to, you can expand the brackets. It's completely up to you. If you do divide both sides by 70,000, you're going to end up with 3/7 again is equal to 1 minus 0.88n. And then what I would do in this case is I would put the 0.88n on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I would have 1 minus 3/7, and 0.88n would be equal to 4/7. And if you divide both sides, so if you divide both sides with 0.88, so 4 divided by 7 divided by 0.88 is, oh no, hang on, what have I done? Am I just being stupid here? Oh, I know what I've done wrong. I'm being so silly. I'm writing the... Sorry, I'm being really silly, aren't I? I know what a mistake I've made here. Hang on a second, guys. That was my mistake over there. Because of course you can't take 0.12n away from 1 because they're not like terms. So I'm just being really silly. Sorry, so 0.12n, and then on this side over here, we would have, it's better, 0.12n. So 0.12n, 0.12n, and now n is going to be equal to 4/7 divided by 0.1,2. So that would end up giving us an answer of 4,761,904, which means that it actually ends up being 4 years and 9 months. Good job, everybody. Okay, how are we feeling now? Thumbs up. Are we all okay? Are we managing? Yes, Tyler, that's perfect. Good. Okay, so can you see we just used the logs to calculate n when n was the exponent. In part B, we didn't need to use logs because n wasn't an exponent. Okay. All right, hopefully everybody is feeling good about that. Okay, so next question for you guys. Here is Simone. She opens an account at a local clothing store and she spends 5,000 Rand. The interest rate charge is 24% per annum compounded monthly. How long will it take her to owe 8,000 Rand if she makes no prior repayments on the account? Okay, so how are we going to work out what's going to happen? First of all, decide what formula are we going to use? What formula are we going to use? Compound interest. Oh, shame. Okay, Tyler. How did we get 8 months? Oh, you mean for the previous one, Boychepo? Okay, Kulani and can you see that? Hold on a second. If you guys want to start working on this, yes, absolutely. You can use compound interest, go for it. And I'm just going to answer a question and we'll come back. So Boychepo, what happened here on the previous one? How did we get 8 months? Okay, so after we calculated n here, we ended up with n equals, hold on a moment, let me just find my answer. Okay, so n was equal to 6, 628 1429 da, 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 okay, and then you would have minus the 6 and times the decimal by 12. Okay, Boychepo? And then you would have ended up with 6 years and 8 months. Okay. No problem. Okay, so let's use compound interest to answer question number 4, please, guys. You're going to do this on your own, and then you can share your answers like you have been. Yeah, anyone got an answer yet? Okay, a couple of different answers here, hey, Meliswa.
Yeah, completely different.
That's interesting. Do you know what I think might have happened here is that some people may have forgotten to multiply the exponent. Yeah, Morangoa, your answer is about the closest. Yeah, it's almost 2 years. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look here. Remember, when we're working with compound interest, okay, yeah, Kulani, very close. All right. When we're working with compound interest, whatever we divide I by, we've got to remember to multiply N by. Remember that, guys. Okay, we spoke about that in our lesson on Monday. So with this particular question, we would have said that she's going to eventually owe 8,000 Rand from 5,000. So 5,000 has to grow into 8 at an interest rate of 24% per annum, compounded monthly. So that has to be divided by 12. So here we have to write 12N. Okay. So that would have given us 8 over 5 is equal to 1,02 to the 12N. And now when we want to use logs to solve for N, we are going to say that 12N equals log base number. Okay, which means that 12N is going to be equal to, I got 23,7344,0767, and then we would have to divide by 12, and that would give us 1,977 and some change. What did I get? 867,306. Okay, well, we really are making it this long. Okay, so that basically is going to be approximately 2 years. Okay, how did that go for the rest of you? Oh, you forgot to divide by 12. Boutle used the wrong interest rate. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Little mistakes. Okay, that's why I'm glad we did this. Okay, good job, everybody. Nice, Morangoa. Good, Kulani. I'm glad. All right, so hopefully everybody is feeling good about using logs to calculate time period. As I say, this is definitely something that they're going to ask you. So yeah, make sure that you can use logs to solve an equation. All right, so calculate time period. Now, hopefully we're going to have time to do these questions here. These are exam questions that I found. They come out of end of year papers. And I just wanted to show you sort of after doing the section before we start with future value, the way things are generally asked in matric about these sorts of questions. So have a look here. I think this was last year's paper, but I could be open to correction. It tells us that a farmer buys a tractor for 980,000 Rand. The value of the tractor depreciates annually at a rate of 9.2% per annum on the reducing balance method. Calculate the book value of the tractor after 7 years. Okay, so that's really nice. That's just a reducing balance question. And then the second one, how many years would it take for an amount of 75,000 to accrue to this in an account earning interest of compounded quarterly? Okay, so I'd like you guys to try question 8.1 and 8.2, please. And then we'll work through it together And I think that's all we're going to have time for. Tonight, but let's see. Okay, off you go. Do you want me to pull the formulae down for you? Maybe I should do that. Hang on a second. Let's grab that. Okay, so there we go. All right, there are the formulae. Another exam question. There you go. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I agree. Okay, just be careful of rounding. So it is 8-2 at the end. Good job. Well done, everybody. Nice, 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 nice. Good work, everyone. And remember, Matrix, you can only round off at the very end, hey? You've got to keep all decimals and whatever until you get to the very end. My answer was close to yours, Oratile, but it wasn't exactly the same. Yeah, I also got 6.5, Tyler. Yeah, which would be 6 years and 6 months. So yes, Moronghoa, yeah. Hope, yeah. Solomon, I think you just maybe went one too many, but I don't think it's a big deal. Yes. Kaiser, same answer. Okay, good stuff, everybody. What did you get for the first one, Michelle? Yes, that's right. Okay, good stuff. Well done, Michelle. Nice. Yeah, great job. Do you want me to work through those quickly for you? Yes, please. Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. So let me just do that very quickly then, Solomon and Michelle. No problem. So in 8.1, you would have calculated the value of the tractor after 7 years. That's going to be 980,123, and it's on the reducing balance method. Be careful, 0,092 to the power of 7. And you would have popped that into your calculator, and that's where the 498,685 Rand and 82 cents is coming from. Okay, and then in part 8.2, they are asking you a question about how many years it's going to take for something to grow using compound interest. So your A value is going to be your larger value, so that's 116,253,50 is equal to P, which is 75,000. 1 plus, and then your interest rate is 6.8% compounded quarterly. And then remember what you divide, when you're working with compound interest, what you divide I with, you've got to multiply N with as well. Okay. So what I did now is I divided both sides by 70,000, and I actually wrote that number out in full, 1,55, because remember, we're not allowed to round off until the very, very end. 6667 is equal to, and then inside my bracket, I ended up with that. I just left it as an improper fraction to the power of 4n. So now solving your logs, you'd say 4n equals log base number 46667. Okay, and then you're obviously going to put that into the calculator, divide it by 4, and you get n is equal to 6.5 years, which everybody is saying is 6 years and 6 months. Okay, which is